After days of tribute, civil rights leader John Lewis was laid to rest today.
The longtime congressman's funeral was held at the historic Ebenezer Baptist Church in Atlanta. Presidents Bill Clinton, George W. Bush, Barack Obama, and House Speaker Nancy Pelosi were among the dignitaries who came to pay their respects to the civil rights icon. During the funeral service, Ebenezer Baptist Church, along with several others around the country, rang their bells for 80 seconds to honor the 80 years of his life. President George W. Bush spoke about Lewis's impact on the country.
His lesson for us is that we must all keep ourselves open to hearing the call of love, the call of service, and the call to sacrifice for others. Listen, John and I had our disagreements, of course. But in the America John Lewis fought for, and the America I believe in, differences of opinion are inevitable elements and evidence of democracy in action.
Lewis delivered his own final message to civil rights activists. In an essay published in the New York Times this morning, he wrote, "Though I may not be here with you, I urge you to answer the highest calling of your heart and stand up for what you truly believe."
Tonight, we continue reflecting on the life and legacy of John Lewis. One of our local historians told us about the day he met Lewis in Newport. Eyewitness News reporter Alexandra Leslie has the story.
Keith Stokes helps to lead a local historical organization. He says he helped escort Representative Lewis around Newport in 1998 and recalls one important stop on their visit. Newport is home to the biggest African burial ground in the U.S., known as God's Little Acre. Local historian Keith Stokes took civil rights leader Representative John Lewis there during a visit to Rhode Island 22 years ago.
He walked through the cemetery and he would stop and touch the stones of enslaved Africans, dating back to 200 to 300 years, and say a prayer. And the congressman did this at almost a half dozen different markers.
This is the marker for Hector Butcher. Stokes tells me he came to Newport from West Africa via Barbados. And this August, it's the 300th anniversary of his death in Newport. It's figures like Butcher who Lewis said were integral to our history.
And he said, "These are our brothers and sisters, and we stand on their shoulders today."
Stokes says he can say the same for Lewis.
And I think we have an obligation today going forward to carry that legacy.
Stokes says one of those legacies is the Black Lives Matter movement.
Black Lives Matter! It is young people and their allies across the state, across the country, and the world who are standing forth and demanding equal rights and equal justice for all people.
Something that Lewis dedicated his entire life to.
Each and every one of us have an obligation to not only stand on the shoulders of John Lewis, but to enact the policies and the programs that he cared most about, which is bringing us all together as citizens and human beings in a sense of civil rights and equality.
I'm Alexandra Leslie, Eyewitness News.